Tech Tuesday, sponsored by CPR, Cell Phone Repair.
We're living local. I'm Ashley Meservey here at Cell Phone Repair. Thanks for having me, Brad.
Yeah, glad to have you back.
Okay, so this time around we're talking about charging myths. Let's start off with that.
Sure, yeah, charging batteries, obviously it's one of the biggest parts of the phone itself, is being able to use it, which all comes from having that battery charged. So I kind of wanted to start with, what do you have to use to actually charge your device? So when you get your phone out of the box from Apple or Samsung or wherever you buy it from, you're going to have a cable and a charge cord usually associated with it, but a lot of times those cables and cords go bad. So if you have to have a cable for your phone, you're going to want to have a 2-amp block charger, because that's actually going to get you enough juice to get that phone up and running for you, especially if it goes all the way dead.
So there's actually a difference between these two?
Yeah, so this is like a faster charge. This is what you'll be given with like an iPad typically from Apple, and then this is what you would be given with an iPhone. But they're both going to be able to do the same thing. They're just, you know, regulated a little bit different from an amperage level.
I know that a lot of times when I've gotten a new iPhone, I haven't read the directions as far as what to do. So you probably stress that too, because is it a big deal if you just go ahead and start charging it?
Yeah, so when you charge your phone, you're going to want to let it all the way cycle through. In other words, you're going to want that battery to actually go down to dead before you charge it back up. You're going to get less life out of a battery long term if you end up charging it once it's at 80% or something like that, and leaving it on all night long is also a big one that you want to avoid if possible. So a lot of people, I know I'm guilty of it, charge my phone overnight next to my bed or whatever, and that's not something you want to do, because you just put current through the phone all night long, and that it can actually zap the battery long term.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you supposed to do then?
Ideally, you would just let it go all the way to dead and charge it back up. Now, you know, we're all you know, living, and you're gonna have to have that phone working for you all the time because it is so essential. So you're gonna just try your best to just charge it when it's, you know, close to dead, and then bring it back up to 100% and let it get back down. But that doesn't always work.
And of course, you can always come here. Don't y'all have those battery backup packs and stuff?
We sure do. But what I was going to say is the reality of it is you're going to need to get a battery repaired at some point in time, and that's why we're here.
Okay.
Because you can't follow all those little knick-knack rules, and ultimately batteries do die. That's why, like for instance, Apple puts a 1-year warranty on their battery. All the batteries we use are OEM quality batteries. This is a iPhone 6 Plus battery here, and then this is a Samsung Note 3 battery. They're both OEM, obviously different styles. The Samsung contact points go in differently than an iPhone would, but one crucial component is having an OEM battery, because it will be what's called a 0-cycle battery. So that means a lot of the batteries that you can find in the market, and a lot of the cheaper places you can go to get a battery, they're not going to have a warranty on the battery itself. And they're also going to potentially not be a 0-cycle battery, which means that the battery has actually been charged before. You want a battery that's never had a charge on it, because its life will be all the way to 100% rather than getting a battery that's 85% right out of the box.
So when do you know that you need to replace your battery?
Yeah, so you're going to start seeing things happening like your battery dies really quick, your phone's performance is lessened, maybe certain apps aren't even working for you. These are all really good indicators that your phone battery charge is going way down. If you bring it into someone like us, we actually have some tools that we can plug that device into. For instance, this is an amperage reader, so we would actually plug this device. We'd have a USB cord running out of here. We'd plug one end into a charge port and one end into the phone, and it'll give us a battery reading. We also have some software tools where we can do the same thing and basically get an understanding for how much life you have left on that battery, and recommend either that you go the direction of getting a new battery, or that you stay with your current situation. Maybe you need a new cable, a new charging block, whatever that might be, that's kind of giving you a false positive for having a bad battery.
Okay, so you've told us the myths, the things you need to consider when you're trying to decide whether or not to get a new battery. So let's say I come in here, need a new battery. What's the process from there?
Yeah, sure. Let's actually run through with Daniel, our manager here, and he'll show you actually how he opens up a phone and puts a new battery on there, as well as that initial diagnostic of seeing what the battery life even looks like, and if it is a go or a no-go to get you a new battery.
Perfect. All right. All right, Daniel, we're sitting down talking today about batteries and charging. What are some of the signs that you may need to replace your battery?
So if your phone's running really slow, one of the major signs is if your battery is showing 1%, and then within 10 minutes drops about 20% of that percent. Phones powering off by themselves and waking up with a different amount of percentage, things like that, are a lot of the main issues that people are going to see when they need to get a new battery.
How often do you see battery issues? How common are they?
All the time. People come in every day. I do at least 5 to 10 battery repairs. At least five a day. Yeah.
Okay, so why would someone want to come in here to deal with their battery as opposed to go to another?
So basically, all of our parts are OEM quality. So you're going to get around the same quality as Apple. Probably takes only about 30 minutes to get it done. So you don't have to make an appointment. You don't have to wait for Apple to have openings or anything like that.
Long lines, stuff like
Exactly.
that. You get them in here.
Yeah, and not to mention you don't have to go downtown to the Apple store. You know, the convenience
dreadful.
of being able to come to this, you know, and not have to find parking, pay for parking, and things like that.
Very convenient. 3 locations too.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, so talk about the process though. Do they need to call? Can they just come in?
You know, if you're not pressed for time, you can just come on in. You know, if you definitely want to make sure that you're going to get in and get out, you know, within your time frame, you can make an appointment if you want to, for sure. Most of the time, walk-ins just come in. It's pretty simple to do the repair. So you drop it off and go have lunch and come on back in, and you know, then you're done.
Okay, so let's talk about the process though.
Yeah.
So when you're about to open up a phone, what type of phone is this?
This is going to be an iPhone 6 Plus.
Okay.
So basically, you can see the batteries right here. You've got a plate that is on top of it to make sure that it stays secured down.
And so, what are some of the things that you're looking for when here? I mean,
One of the things that I always look for is thickness of the battery. If it's got any lumps in it, if it's expanded at all, because when batteries go bad, they can create a gas that actually causes the battery to swell up, which can actually push the screen up. It can cause damage to the motherboard. A lot of the times it pushes electricity back onto the board and causes board level damage, and then you're going to get like Wi-Fi signal issues, Bluetooth issues, things like that.
like overheating or anything?
Absolutely.
Like that?
A lot of people see overheating. And that's one of the reasons if you don't replace your battery every 2 years, you know, you can actually, you know, lower the lifespan of your phone. And it can actually deteriorate your motherboard and, you know, cause several issues.
I have to be honest, I've never changed my battery. I just get a new phone.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people do that because they think, you know, it's more money than that, you know, than just to...
They definitely do. I do. I thought that it would just be not worth it. I might as well just go ahead and get
No,
it.
it's totally feasible. You know, you come in, we replace the battery, and we can test it too, so we can see, you know, how far along your battery is. You know, if you're not ready to get it done, you know, or if you're ready and you just want to limp on until your next upgrade or whatever the situation may be, we can test it and actually be able to show you exactly what's going on, you know, and not just go off symptoms. So.
And so if you were talking to someone and they were going back and forth, just were annoyed by the fact that their battery seems to be draining, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to replace it, absolutely. You know, I would be like, you know, you can spend hundreds of dollars on a new phone that does exactly what you want your phone that you have now, you know, that it does. Or you can just get the battery replaced and keep the phone you want. You know, there's no reason you have to upgrade. There's always ways that we can, you know, get you back on the road.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.